Assalamu alaikum. So, in the previous video, I was explaining how economics would find it quite difficult to then have a balanced representation in mainstream new classical economics to connect society with markets. And then, of course, government is the third point to be considered. The role of the government, the private sector, and how societies evolve through culture. While economics, particularly the cyclical microeconomic theory, would suggest, the cyclical economics would suggest that consumers are also workers, skilled or unskilled workers, while they would as well be represented through household economics, where household head will be an income earner, and or both man and wife would be income earners. That is especially true for modern world, Western societies, where couples both work, while children would be represented through formal education, health facilitation, as well as maybe participating in sports and all those interesting activities whereby they can learn to become a rational, logical, learned, and highly aesthetically oriented individuals or adults, so that the next generations should represent better methods, better knowledge-based, and better representing better plans, economic plans, both for household as well as for society at large, to then be represented through productive labor, whereby it can be represented by skills with education levels that will represent attainment of higher education, university education. So it's like government would have a role to play, especially when there are unskilled workers or labor class, or when there will be income inequalities, or when there will be a market failure represented through maybe what is represented by the example of Enron filing for bankruptcy because of unethical bookkeeping in early 2000s. So government would have a role to play, providing social safety nets to the poor and impoverished, or government would be a regulator to then work on regulations, laws that could improve business competitiveness, while at the same time government would be owning utilities like electricity or provision of other energy inputs like gas to be represented as publicly owned companies to then manage prices, to discourage monopolies, national level monopolies. So, but in most of my work, we haven't yet touched upon the role of the government while concentrating on the link between market and society. Now, whereas, what we intend to do, and especially I with Chat, GPT, or Copilot would try to find arguments that should suggest that, noble human values represented through kindness, compassion, trust, ethics, would then have value that is adjacent to the economic value, and it should then represent through enhanced labor productivity to then really contribute incrementally to the productivity of the firm or business or cluster of businesses, while it could be represented through learning by doing, by participating in international or regional value chains or supply chains. So that's simple economics. Obviously that, money is mostly defined through its value of exchange. What is more important